Hey, sports fan, welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. Today, recapping this good game tonight, Thursday night football versus the Denver Broncos, 9-5 versus the 8-6 Chargers. Crucial game for both individual. Yes, they both are in the playoffs, but this is the next step. Whoever wins has a better chance of playing a upper game. So, so you never know. The wild card, of course, every wild card is a road game. We have to look at this game carefully because if the Chargers lose and Miami win, which we have a lot of Miami Dolphins fans and also Colts fans think that the season is over. I'm going to say this. It's not over until the fat lady sings. You heard that in baseball, right? But I'm doing it in football. Anything can happen, guys, with 3 games left. I just hope, if the Chargers win, that's it. Miami's out. Colt could be out too. So one game, one team also battling is the Bengals. Don't forget the Bengals. The Bengals out there. So once again, we're going to take a look at the playoff picture. Here we are. Of course, if the season ends today, these are the prospective team that will play each other. Of course, first round bye will be the Chiefs. You have the Chargers facing the Bills. You have the Broncos facing the Steelers. Okay, so if you look at it, it's just if you win, you get a upper seed, and that changes the teams you'll play. So, and then number 5 seed are the Ravens at 9-5, and they will face the Texans. We have a lot of crucial game coming this Sunday. Very important game coming this Sunday. If you guys checked out my shorts, I gave my prediction on my shorts. Now, somebody saw the X on the team logo. Those are my pick, guys. That's not that I didn't pick them. Those are my actual pick. It's not that they're going to go down and lose. No. Those are actually my pick. So, once again, guys and girls, the NFL this weekend, especially Saturday. Don't forget Saturday game, which the Steelers will face the the Ravens. They got to travel to Baltimore, and I did finally did my pick. I like the Steelers on that one. I know some of you guys says, I mean, they're playing at in Baltimore, but guys, Lamar Jackson has to prove to me that he could beat the Steelers at 2-5 with 22 sacks. You know, anything on the cut in this league, especially his performance: 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. If it was the opposite, then I'll take a chance on it, but it's not the opposite. So, but this game right here, going back to the game for the Chargers and the Broncos, for me, it's going to be more a defensive fight. There's 2 top defense, the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers. Now, the Chargers lately, you see what happened with Tampa Bay, scored 40 points on them. Okay, they have been playing not good football. And I'm going to say something. Herbert is, I know he's hurt. Maybe, I know the last time they hit him on the hip, on the leg, whatever it was, he was really in pain and trying to get back to the field, which is, he's a strong guy, big, tall guy. But when you play with injuries, guys, you're taking a risk. Practically, you're taking a risk, especially that player. But anyhow, here's the injury report. There's 2 players are out for the Denver Broncos. They're a healthy team. Running back is out, McLaughlin. And then Riley Moss, defensive back, he's out with a knee injury. On the other side, the LA Chargers, questionable. It's Otis, the defensive lineman. Offensive lineman Zion Johnson, questionable with ankle. Tight end Hayden Hurst, questionable with hip. Linebacker Denzel Perriman, questionable with groin. which with those injuries, you can see that don't think they're going to play. Doubtful with knee, it's Elijah Molden, defensive back. Then you have Ken Hart out with a concussion. And tight end Will Disley out with a shoulder injury. Those are your injuries for both teams. As you see, Denver's completely solid, guys. They are very healthy, and they're a very, very good football team. I have to give credit to Sean Payton, what he has done there. I know that some of you guys are going to say something about, well, he got rid of Wilson. Wilson was not the issue. That team had a problem with the offensive line. He turned it around. I give him credit. Their defense is playing amazing. So you got to give credit where credit is due. And that's one part of it. Their defense is playing good ball. So sometimes we don't want to say nothing, but, that defense right now is putting pressure at the quarterback. Getting turnovers. They're playing just solid all the way around. And that's something you have to take in consideration in this game. It's going to be an easy game for both teams? I don't think so. I think you might see a defensive struggle. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I don't think Nick's, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but I guess when Peyton took him, I guess he made the right decision. Now, I'm going to go look at some stats here before the game. This is actually both teams where they're ranked, where they're at. Defensive side and offensive side, they'll tell you completely. Now, normally the weather's at 77 degrees, perfect weather in Inglewood, California. Like I say, 8-6 Chargers versus the 9-5 Denver Broncos. They like the Chargers by 2.5 because they're home. But let me start with the offensive plays, right? The offensive play per game. Okay, Denver is 24th in 240. I'm sorry, 10th in the league. My bad. That's the Denver Broncos. I'm sorry, the 240. 24 points a game. My God, I'm wearing glasses and I can't even see it. Points scored. There we go. Denver 24. That's 10th in the league. The LA Chargers 21 points. That's 20th in the league. Total yards. Denver 311. That's 22nd in the league. 302. That's 26th in the league for the Los Angeles Chargers. Passing yards, 202, 23rd in the league. Chargers, 196, that's 25th in the league. Rushing yards, 108, that's 20th in the league. The Chargers are 105, 22nd in the league. So Denver's 20th with 108, and the Chargers 105 with rushing yards. Third down conversion, 37.7%, 16% for the Denver Broncos. For the Chargers, 37.1, 20th ranked. On fourth down, the Denver Broncos are 58.8%. That's 15th in the league. And the Chargers are right behind them at 58.3, 16th in the league. Time of possession, Denver 29-14, 23rd in the league. Chargers 29-35, 22nd in the league, so they're back and forth on this on both sides. On the defensive side, points allowed, they're both even. First in the league. That's how good matchup they are in their defense. They're both 17.6 per game. They're tied. Total yards, not bad either. Denver 315 per game. That's 8th in the league. 336. That's 15th in the league for the Chargers. Passing yard. 216. That's 16th in the league for Denver, and that's 10th in the league for the Chargers are 211 yards. Not bad at all. Rushing yards 98.6. This is the key, guys. That's 5th in the league. They are allowing less than 100 yards per game. The Denver Broncos. That's how good that defense is. The Chargers, they're allowing 125. That's 19 in the league. Not bad at all either, but that's a lot of yards to the ground. This is where the battle begins. You run the ball, you win the game. That's plain and simple. I'm a firm believer that, yes, you pass the ball, but if you can run the ball and eat that clock out, you win games. Strategy in football. Come on, guys and girls. We know this. Okay, that's plain and simple. Run it, eat the clock, and win the game. That's it. And of course, play well defense. And that's something that we are going to see tonight with both teams. So here, under my comments, leave a comment. And those that haven't subscribed to the channel, Sports Night with Jorge, I welcome you to subscribe to the channel. This channel brings a lot of positive feedback. Today, I was talking to a lot of sports fans out there that know the sports. Something came up very important, okay? And I want you guys to understand this, okay? We have passion. We love our team, okay? But at the end of the day, this is entertainment, guys. It's pro football. There was a discussion that they brought up about teams not winning against winning teams, losing teams to winning teams, and then the opposite, both ways. I'm going to tell you this, and you could take this to the bank. Every game in the NFL counts regardless who you face. Whether you win, lose, or draw, or as a tie that they call it in the NFL, okay? Any given Sunday, anybody can beat you. Does record matters in the does record matters in the NFL? Yes, because wins and losses is where you take your division, you win your division, you crown yourself your division, you go to the playoffs, wild card. But there's so many scenarios. And until the last game is not play of the season, you don't know which team goes where. 32 teams in the NFL. Imagine. Okay, what does everybody go? Let's be honest, common sense, right? Everybody goes to make the playoffs? No, it's to win the Super Bowl. But you got to make the playoffs first to win it, right? So, okay, but it is so hard in this league to compete. What the NFL has done lately, let's talk about this for a second. A 16-game into a 17-game season. I miscount of all the injuries from this year in the NFL. It's the most injury I ever seen probably in NFL history. Concussion, knee, leg, shoulder, you name it. Why? Because it's physical. It's a physical game. Okay? It's called tackle football. Not happy with the officials. And I'm saying this on my own. I know you hear so much things on the news, on the social media, saying that everything is rigged. They pay the ref. You got people upset, disappointed. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, okay, it's like me and you. We go to work, 9 to 5, and go home. We get pay a paycheck. Okay? Sometimes things favor you. Sometimes it doesn't favor you. But that's okay. We can't take nothing personal. That's why I tell everybody, at the end of the day, man, okay, you enjoy the most, which is your family and the guy up there. Priorities, guys. Game, entertainment. That keeps you going. You root for your team. Why not? Yeah, sure. You buy shirts, you buy caps, you buy so many things. There's nothing wrong with that. Look at behind me what I got. I'm a Dolphin fan. They told me, but George, you haven't won a playoff in 20 years. Well, but that doesn't mean they never won one. They did. They were undefeated in 1972. They won playoff game with Dan Marino. So it's like they never did. And that's something that, you can't get too personal with it. That's the word I'm saying. I'm not saying don't love the sports. Love the sports. I'm not saying that. You have your criticism. You got your doubts. You got your answers. I cannot critique anybody. I cannot do that. Okay? Because remember, you got fans and fanatics. I always say that, guys, especially in my podcast. And I respect everybody's opinion the way you respect mine. Okay? You could disagree. That's fine. But if you disagree, should I hate you? No. I love you because you know what? At the end of the day, okay, you guys are my brothers and sisters. Why taking it personal? I'm not going to take it personal. You got to laugh in this kind of environment of sports. You got to have fun with it. You can't get too serious about it, okay? Because it's entertainment. Sports is an entertainment industry. Okay, it's a revenue industry, and we all know this. I mean, that's something that I just brought up. No, I know a lot of you guys are smarter than I am, and that's fine. I mean, but this is the realistic thing. We have to look at the real picture here. You know, I'm seeing these videos, and guys, I know you're seeing it too because it's crazy. A guy run over the car because of the TV, a Dallas Cowboy fan. A guy breaking the TV because the Rams beat the 49ers. Fans are fanatics. It's not worth it, guys. There's life after football. You could tell that to any NFL players. You know, and we remember we also got fantasy football. You know, people bet on these players, and it's sad to say it. And I'm not here to disagree or agree with anybody. You do what you do with your money. I can't tell you what to do with it. Okay, I don't get in that conversation. Okay, because you know somebody do it for fun. They do it serious. Sometimes people get addiction. And hey, you know, it's amazing how people pronounce that, and it says bet carefully. If you have a gambling problem, hey, that happens. That happens in life, you know. But we can't take things too serious. You know, it's football. Have fun with it. It's a whole year. I got people telling me, hey, man, my team didn't make it, George. But I'm not mad about it. It happens. Why? Because you got injuries, you got coaches, you got staff. I mean, you could go down the line, man. I mean, that's why I put a video a while back about stop mocking the Dolphins. Because that's your team and you want to mock them because, oh, they're terrible, they're not good, they got Tyreek Hill. No. Well, what happened is, I say it again, one player cannot determine a football team. 11 on defense, 11 on offense, and you 53-man roster. Period. That's it. Why you go through draft? Why? Why you go through trades? Free agency. Okay? Practice squad. I mean, you're actually filling the holes, and then you want to get these players in to play in an environment that really the actual player has never played your scheme. I mean, you have running quarterbacks with coaches that are pocket coaches for quarterback. They like to throw the ball deep. But then you got coaches that, you know, it's the opposite. I mean, if you're a running quarterback, you should have a running coach to teach you how to run and pass. I mean, there's a scheme to that. And some people don't understand that. You know, sometimes some of these quarterbacks, and I use an example with Justin Fields. He struggled in Chicago, came back up, and what did he do? Okay, he got hot at the end, started playing well, got injured. Chicago let him go. He goes to Pittsburgh. Criticism. That's what media. That's what media does. Criticize. The guy's not good and all that. Well, he did so well. He had a winning record until Russell Wilson got back. What did I say about Russell Wilson? A veteran quarterback. Oh, he doesn't have any more. He's not good and all that. Really? Look at his record. Look where they're at. Let me tell you something. At the beginning of the season, every single probably podcaster or social media or do with NFL or any sports, no one picked the Pittsburgh Steelers to be in first place. I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Ravens. That's my two teams that were on top. What happened to Joe Burrow? What happened to the Bengals? Let me tell you what happened to the Bengals. That's plain and simple. The front office are not releasing good enough money to get good players to help this team on the defensive side. Because in the offense, I think they got no problem. What happened to Cleveland? Okay. Last year, they were there. With a quarterback that was sitting on his couch watching these games, Joe Flacco, and they give him a call. Hey, can you join us? And he played so well that they made it this far. But then what happened this year? Well, that's what happens when you start trading, releasing, and then fans like us, not fanatics, fans like us, we see football as a sports that, depending on the revenue of the team, you could get what you get or what you have. It's like you do a budget in your work. If you're in management, you understand. You make a budget. Man, I would like to have Tariq Hill, but he's too expensive. But I'll take this guy. Okay, so here's my question, ready? And I'm gonna get to it. So why are we not giving people chances like the college kids? You pick them up, you draft them, and you put them on the sideline for a whole entire year. Why? Give them a chance. Wide receiver, give them a chance. Quarterback, give them a chance. This year in the NFL, if you saw it, every quarterback that started in this league, like Daniels from the Commanders and the guy from the Chicago Bears, they put him straight. Come on, we're gonna throw you to the fire. Let me see what you got. Chicago had a good run there, but then eventually injuries has hit the team, and it's part of football. The Commanders was what got red hot, and then they slowed down, because they're facing a good division. I mean, you're in the division with Dallas, and I know you're going to say about Dallas, okay? Dallas, I could tell you about Dallas fans, and I love you guys to all my heart, but Jerry Jones needs to stay away from the Dallas Cowboys. That's my personal opinion. Okay? You should be the owner. You write the paycheck. Don't worry about nothing else. Okay? You pick up a coach. Okay? You open your offense a couple of years ago. You guys were scoring 40, 50 points a game, whatever you guys were scoring. You guys go crazy in that league. Okay? Back and forth. I mean, yeah, you had games like 45, 42, 48, 47. Okay. All right. But then what happens? Did you build on the defense? Did you build around Prescott? Okay? You let your running back go because he was too old. Then you went ahead and pick him up again. Ezekiel Elliott. And sometimes you think, you're washed up. You don't want to sign these quarterbacks or these running backs or these safeties or these quarterbacks. Any position you want to sign offensive line. What happened to Miami? They don't have an offensive line. That's what you build on your offensive line because you have a good quarterback. Okay, maybe injury pro because he gets concussion. All right, that's part of football. Does anybody know how many concussions this year in the NFL? Because I forgot counting. Because basically almost every game there's a concussion. You might not see it. You might not hear about it. Oh, this player is going to the blue tent. This player is going to the blue tent. Cost of injury, a concussion. He will not return. I mean, let's be honest. We have to look at all this. We do. As fans, we have to look at it. But we just cannot get involved in the fanatic of you destroying your home or you're getting mad with a neighbor or you're getting upset with your brothers and sisters about a freaking game. Enjoy it, man. It's Christmas time. Next week is Christmas. So anyhow, I want to thank everybody that have subscribed to the channel. Once again, thank you so much. Please leave your comment, your thumbs up. It's very important that you guys do that on my channel. Always keep your bell on when I tell you I go live. Like I say, I do have a full-time job. Pretty soon, hopefully, this channel, in the name of God, will open up and I could do more things that I want to do. But I'm limited to what I have to do to respect, the rules and regulations of the YouTube channel. And that's what I do, guys. I don't use bad words here. I really don't. Some channels do. I'm okay with it. That's their problem, not mine. I'm a positive person. I stay positive. Don't let no negativity bother me. And I tell everybody, don't let that bother you either. There's things that I see in the world that, hey, let's be honest, we're human. They say, man, this is not fair. You know what? But at the end of the day, I look at it this way. Okay? What can I take off? What can I take off of this day that I'm having? What positive thing I could take over this day? Because if I'm going to sit and watch a football game, and that's all I could watch because I love football. Guys, I've been a Dolphin fan. Actually, let me tell you a little story here. The Dolphins franchise started in 1966. That's the year I was born. Okay? I saw my first Dolphin game, believe it or not, in 1972. Ain't that amazing? 6 years later, a young kid, young little boy. My dad took me to the old Orange Bowl where the Dolphins used to be at the end zone, all the way at the end zone, swimming in that pool. Never forget the Winslow blocked field goal. of Uwe von Schauming. Never forget the flea flicker from Don Strock to Tony Nathan. I mean, I could talk here all night about it. Those were great times. Those were history. Those were amazing. And don't tell me about Dan Marino. I could tell you this: Dan Marino at being another team, he probably won more Super Bowl than anybody else. But that's okay, guys. He made it 1983 and lost to the 49ers to Joe Montana, a veteran quarterback, great quarterback. My God, we made it to the Super Bowl with David Woodley and lost to the Redskins. Never forget, John Riggins ran all over us. I could keep going on. We went back-to-back Super Bowl with Larry Sonka beating Minnesota. Boy, did he throw truck Minnesota. I mean, we have good times, but it's not the end of the world. So, anyhow, thank you so much. Thank you for joining in. I love you guys. Once again, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget the thumbs up, the comment below. Anything you need from SNJ, Sports Night with Jorge, I'm here for you guys. Anything you want to hear, any news, anything. Listen, I really talk about basketball. I'm a Laker fan. I talk about hockey. I'm a Panther fan. I talk about, like I said, NBA, hockey. I'm an Oriole fan in baseball. I talk about baseball too. I talk about the Braves. I talk about the Dodgers. It's an open sport. It's just a seasonal thing. I go season by season. Okay, but anyhow, you guys have a blessed night. Thank you so much for joining in. And I hope I see you guys soon. And don't forget, look at my pics on my shorts. I send those this afternoon. And some updates with Hollywood Brown from the Kansas City. He's returning, probably possible to play against the Texans this Sunday. So let's see what happens. And once again, Patrick Mahomes will also be back for the game. So you guys have a blessed one. And thank you so much. And see you guys soon.